And Kristal, we're going to ask you about gaining diverse perspectives. You were an attorney in Washington, D.C., so you saw a very multicultural district, how it handled diversity and how business handled diversity, and then what that meant to society. Could you talk a little bit about gaining diverse perspectives, the importance of it, living in this global society? You speak to a global society with Politics 365.
Sure, and thank you so much for not only the question, but the opportunity to be here with such esteemed panelists and colleagues. It's really neat and quite humbling. You know, it's interesting, right, because when we talk about gaining diverse perspective, right, everybody, show of hands, has a smartphone, laptop, some sort of technical digital device. And these little things allow us to connect in some really profound ways, right? Because if we talk about how do you do good and do well, it implies that you want to be in a position to help somebody. You can't help somebody if you don't know what they need. You know, I think it's really easy a lot of times for us collectively to make assumptions about what other people need and want, but if we don't really dig in and gain a greater understanding of where there's a need, we often miss our opportunities to be helpful. And I think whether you're pursuing a business-centric route, whether you have, you know, a nonprofit in mind, the key point in that is understanding the need. And one of the things that's interesting to me about diversity and how that works is that as people, we are far more similar than we think. And we often place these kind of superficial barriers because of where we're from or how old we are, or, you know, what's our socioeconomic status and what do we like, what do we dislike, and we get trapped in so many different things. And I think if we spent more time heralding diversity as a way to amplify how we're alike, how we're similar, you find some really great connection points. From my experience, one of the things that we've done with Politics 365 is create a platform that identified a need and spoke to diverse audiences. We talk about politics and public policy and the impact on communities of color in particular. I love what Thomas was saying earlier about lifting up people, telling a good story, providing some sort of alternative to all the negativity, and that's what we try to do, and I think that's a great opportunity when you think about social enterprises, when you think about how you can kind of go forward and do good and do well. Understanding how people interact with each other, understanding what they need, using the technology that's available to us to better connect and help tell some of those stories, but then also understanding that it takes not only the technology, but that personal touch, that human touch. And that's where I think things get really exciting, because you get to say, hey, I'm good at this. You know, I'm a lawyer as well, so I'm good at advocacy, I'm good at communications. How do I tie that to my passion for helping people? How do I tie that to my love of media entertainment? All of these things come together, and I think they factor into ways we can take that global perspective and translate it into what our niche can be, how we can really do good and do well at the same time.
Excellent, excellent.